In this week's online feature, we take a closer look at a recent report carried out by the Gibraltar Regulatory Authority on the topic of social networking sites and privacy among students from local schools. This is the third year in a row in which the GRA have carried out such a survey, and in some instances, the results are quite staggering, with, for example, 84% of students as young as in Year 7 using some form of social media, disregarding the age restrictions imposed. I asked the GRA's Head of Information Rights, Bradley Tosso, how worrying a figure like this is.
It is an improvement. In previous years, when we started, the percentage use by Year 7 students was 90, close to 100%. So virtually all Year 7 students used social network platforms. So there has been a reduction in use by Year 7 students. That's a positive improvement, but still, when these social media platforms are actually designed to be used for older people, then obviously the use is inappropriate and arguably also a risk.
And these risks that go hand in hand with the use of social media at a young age could well be lessened with tighter privacy settings. However, the statistics determined by the survey show that this is still lacking in some cases.
We would advise that the students themselves take a look at the privacy options available to them in each of the platforms that they use. We would advise and encourage parents to actually sit down with their children, explain any questions that they have, and actually encourage that they use the privacy settings properly and to ensure that they protect their privacy, to essentially limit their exposure. Because of how powerful these social media platforms are and how they may actually expose an individual to the extent that it may have negative consequences for an individual, be it in relation to progression with their studies, progressing on to university. It may affect their prospects, their career prospects in the future. And they may even be affected when it comes to sports. There have been cases this year where contracts with football players have been terminated because of their comments on Twitter.
The report encompasses a range of students, including Year 7s, 9s, 11s, and those aged 17 and over from the Gibraltar College. Given the importance placed on the online world in the 21st century and the magnitude of sites such as Facebook and Twitter, the results are generally unsurprising, with 96% of all students surveyed having used at least one form of social media. Facebook being the most popular, with 73% of students using the site. But can more be done in schools to curb this excess usage?
Obviously, we understand, and I think all regulators understand, that teachers and departments of education already have a lot of work on their hands. But when we actually contacted the Department of Education locally, they were very welcoming and supportive of the idea, and they agreed for us to visit the schools, initially with the Year 7s. They have supported us throughout, and we're now entering our fourth consecutive year where we're actually visiting schools, delivering presentations, undertaking the survey. Hopefully this project may actually develop further, but we'll have to obviously see how things go. Last year, with other regulators, we talked about the idea of actually carrying out what we would call privacy competitions among students. How that can be done depends. We could, for example, have let's say an art competition that's focused on privacy as the theme or subject. We could have a written essay and so on. These are ideas that are currently being discussed amongst regulators, and obviously maybe in the future we will discuss these ideas with the Department of Education and schools, and we'll see how feasible it is.
Inevitably, updates and advancements to social networking sites are accompanying every passing year, and it seems as though we're invariably edging towards a world where so much of what we do is glossed about online that we're arguably placing more importance to our online presence than that of our existence in everyday life. However, the GRA will be hoping to buck this trend amongst youngsters on the Rock going forward and bring about a return to the days where outdoor activities after school were the norm, rather than the increasingly common habit of an afternoon spent in front of a screen.